Hi, this is Sylvia of Colorful Foresight, where we too reconnect from within. Here we have Patti,
Hi.
and then we got Angela. Um, in this video, Patti, Angela, and I will be going from within and act out spirit guide what it means to merge our woo-woo into the work-life balance. We will be utilizing our woo-woo spidey sense, also known as intuition, as we utilize several tools like picking an oral card, Patti affirmation card, and using the pendulum. Real quick, before we get started, good to know that Angela and Patti have a podcast together called Building Better Relationship at Home and Work with Angela and Patti. Hold on to the noise. And individually, that Patti is a leadership work-life balance coach, Reiki master, blogger, and podcaster. And as for Angela Ambrosia, that she is the creator of Dance with Angela, that is about empowering your body to heal your relationship and recover your self-love. So let's get started. Let's have fun now.
Yay. Thanks,
Yay.
Sylvia.
Thank you.
So the question we have for Patti and Angela, you guys ready?
Yeah.
You ready?
Yes.
So please share a scenario where you have been merging your woo-woo for your work-life balance lifestyle. Anything come to mind?
Yeah, I've got some things there's a few things that over the years have transformed. I do a lot of dream work, and as a coach, I struggled a lot with setting goals and how to choose the right goals. So I'd start by working with my mind and my goal setting, and then I'd have a dream, and the dream would say, "Don't do that. What? Are you crazy?" And I'd have really crazy dreams that would sort of tear apart my goals or just make me look at what's actually going on underneath the goal setting. And so over about 30, 40 years of dreams, I've been watching my dreams. And that's really changed the way I look at work and I look at life. Like, why am I making some of those choices? So then if I start setting goals, another classic example is over the years, I've set goals and they don't work. So the dreams are trying to help me look at why are you setting the goals. And sometimes we set goals to make other people happy or to live up to society's expectations. So the woo-woo for me of dream work has actually made me look at, why do I keep trying to live in the box that society wants? And why don't I trust more of my intuition? That's been a large theme actually this last week, trusting my intuition and being more mature in that, more just go with it. What are you waiting for? So yeah, the woo-woo's been really important for me to just trust more about my own decisions.
That's great. And you, Patti?
So for me, throughout my life, I've had dreams that have come true, different intuition type feelings or knowing. And I found that throughout, when I didn't act on those feelings, things didn't turn out good. And to start trusting those feelings and going with it. And I know when I ignore it, it's not taking me on a good path. But when I do, listen to it, listen to the feeling, listening to the knowing, listening to the dreams, everything will be all right. For me, in my work with work-life balance and coaching managers and supervisors, a lot of managers and supervisors are on burnout, and because they're working 24/7 and they're not taking breaks or lunches or getting away from work. And I found that with Reiki, incorporating Reiki with work-life balance and leadership helps with that. And some people consider Reiki woo-woo. It really isn't, but that they don't understand what it is. It's energy healing, and it helps people calm down. And it's really good for overwhelm, anxiety. If you have a problem, just relaxing and letting your body heal and letting you calm down, and you come up with solutions to different situations that you have.
I was feeling relaxed as you were talking. So that's very helpful. Just you have that energy about you. With the little frazzle coming in. I could totally think of anything that had challenges with my work life. It's from anxiety. So that would have been like a big helpful piece right there.
Yeah, I wish I had that when I was a manager and supervisor, because I was under a lot of stress. So, and I also made the work-life balance cards that we're going to talk about later as a way for people to focus on something positive throughout their day or throughout their week or throughout their month with those cards. And it helps with your work-life balance and to calm you down. And I know that for me, when I was going through a lot of stress, when I was a manager and supervisor, I used affirmations on my way to and from work and at work just to keep me sane.
Well, I have that affirmation deck that Patti created, and we're going to be using it for Patti. Let's pick a oracle card and an affirmation card that you created, and let's see what the question I have.
Do you want the oracle card first or the affirmation card first?
Whatever you feel to do.
I'll do the affirmations.
Okay. So what is the collective message for our viewers and listeners about their work-life balance? So you guys that are listening, this applied to you.
And I know Angela has some cards too, and Sylvia does too. So maybe we could each pull one and see what we get.
Okay. I'll pull one from Michael, Archangel Michael. And we got the pendulum, and we got to use it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So the card that I got was I delegate. How many of us don't delegate, whether it's at home or at work, by asking for help? A lot of times that's why we get overwhelmed, is because we don't ask for help and we take on everything when we could have somebody vacuum for us or do the dishes for us or go pick up the kids for us, or any of little tasks. Taking one task away can help with work-life balance. So I think the reason why we got this card is because there's probably the collective doesn't delegate enough.
And you know what's interesting? Because the card I got, and it goes with what you're talking about, it goes, embrace the magical moment. You are in perfect energetic space for manifesting miracles and allow your wishes to be fulfilled. I mean, it's not going to relate, but the way I made it relate to the delicate is that we miss the opportunity in a moment, because I could see it for myself. I'm too much in my mind, or I don't really know how to delegate. So I missed that moment. Yes. Right. I missed the moment of creating it, and also as well as learning. Like I could have a communication or something. So that's what came to mind.
Yeah, we say yes to everything instead of saying no to what we really want.
Wow, that's a good one.
Yeah.
There's a part of me that's like may not do it because of the unknown.
May not do it. Do what?
Like may not delegate or ask or anything like that because I feel not prepared or don't know how to work with it. So that's the unknown for me, because sometimes I feel like I need to know. And I guess if I was using my woo-woo sense with the intuition that my guides are telling me, if I listen to my inner intuition, I would do what, like you guys have dreams and you follow it, and I'll be able to work with it. And even when things are not working out, I can ask again, what's going on? Too much over here, and anxiety, it's like it's not connecting from within.
So is a part of that, because you also, Sylvia, sometimes in your mediumship, you envision things like some of the unseen that you start seeing
Mm-hmm.
is as you start channeling, you envision what could be something for the collective. You do it really easily. But that's where I was wondering, because I notice a lot with coaching now, people are not very good at vision work. But when you do your channeling, which is using intuition, you very easily see stuff. So I'm just wondering how the unknown is something that maybe we need to use our spidey sense more if the brain is going to interrupt your ability to see it.
Well, it's great in the context of woo-woo, right? I feel like when I'm doing this, I'm more comfortable because I'm hanging
Yeah.
out with people who are like-minded. But
Oh,
I'm with like the one that's not into it, which we know everybody's intuitive and using it one way or another. I will not utilize that ability you were saying. Like I see my ability of doing that, but I got to figure out how to work into that work-life balance, how to work that in every area, especially in the everyday life.
yeah.
Not just when I'm doing this kind of thing. So that's a great thing. What comes to mind, Patti, when you're hearing all of us?
Well, I pulled an oracle card, and
Okay.
it says grace and gratitude. Through gratitude, joy expands. So, like what you said, Sylvia, about not using your intuition when you're with others that you feel wouldn't appreciate it or don't believe in it. Even though I'm around people like that when I was at work, and I still used it. Things would come up and I would listen to it. They didn't have to know where it came from.
That's true. Yeah.
And kind of look.
Patti froze, but she'll come back. She'll be coming back in once the technology part. She's like,
Okay, I'm
while
back.
she rolled the card.
There.
Wait, is she
Yeah.
back yet? She's back in. Okay, wait. You're just moving slowly. All right, you're back in.
Okay, great. So embracing our gifts or abilities and sharing it with the world is important because it gives us a guide of how to communicate with others and how to work with others and to love each other, is the way I feel. And with grace and gratitude, when we're happy about what we receive and we give it to others, it helps them as well. And we should be grateful for what we are given.
You know what comes to mind? This idea of even with the woo woo, am I grateful for it? Am I grateful for my intuition?
Mm,
Maybe I
mm.
got to really understand that it's for everything. Even though I thought I was doing that, but I just realized that I was kind of, maybe I need to appreciate the ability of having that intuition, which I always say everybody has.
We all
Um,
have it,
we
yes.
all have it. It's not like you have to be psychic. They call it hunch. So many things. So I think it's the appreciation that we all have intuition is key. Yeah, really interesting. So what do you got, Angela?
So I use the crystal ally cards, and this one is kunzite and hiddenite, if anyone knows those stones, and it's joy and gratitude. So it's similar vibration, Patti, to the
Yeah,
grace.
and mine's the Secret Traveler Oracle cards by Denise Lynn.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny that
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
works hand in hand and this is what the collective needs to hear?
And
And I
what's
want
interesting? It kind of goes with
Yeah.
embrace
embrace
the
this
magical
magical
moment. Like,
moment.
and you know what? It's this idea of appreciating the like. Okay, it's not like people hide their intuition, but when it comes to intuition, it's more like, oh yeah, I have an intuition. It's more mainstream. But when you start talking about the woo woo, then it's kind of like I hide that aspect to me, which I do. I kind of hide it. I don't really,
Embrace it.
or I don't like allow it fully. Especially like in family members stuff. Even though they know I'm into this, it's like you said, I don't really have to like showcase it. I can use it in so many, just in my life. But I think I definitely have had more gratitude and definitely delegated more my intuition. So I have more, could I have anxiety? I've had this a long time and it has affected work for me and things like that. So that's what all come to mind at the moment.
I wanted to share about the joy element. And I was given this teaching from my teacher a while ago, because one of the things about my spidey sense is dance. And when I dance, I light up the room. People say things about how happy I am, and they're mystified how I'm not like that during my everyday life. And I was told by my teacher to start my day with dance, because that would put me in that intuitive, natural grace, flow, and joy, basically. And I notice the habit is I've got to do my work before I can play. So I think one of the other messages for the collective is put yourself in that space, whether it's journaling or affirmations or exercise for some people. For me, it's movement or music or dance, and really embrace that could make your work-life balance
I
simple.
guess for some people, just having that 10-minute with a cup of coffee, looking at Patty drink her water or whatever,
Yeah.
that's in itself is putting yourself first.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And then it becomes part of your day. It's not something you have to hide from people. It's just part of your day. I know when I started doing my dream work, my partner was like, what are you doing in the morning? Because I spend about 30, 40, 45 minutes sometimes. And I'm really just following the dream and understanding what the message is. And at first I thought they're going to be annoyed. But then I just said, I'm doing my dream work, and I embraced it. And now that becomes a part of our day. So instead of just saying, oh, I'm doing something and they're not going to understand, I just sort of said, this is what I'm doing. And now there's no disturbance. So it's really interesting when you just say, I'm doing my journaling, I'm doing my cards, I'm doing my bathing in magic elixir. And you give it a sort of a framework. You give it a name, a process name. I think that meditation is easy for people to understand. I'm meditating. So I used to use that to euphemize like meditating so people would leave me alone. But instead of looking at it like, leave me alone, I don't want to be disturbed, now I give it a framework in my own consciousness. I'm doing this because it's going to give me something like joy, or it's going to make my work-life balance flow. And then other people sort of align around it. Just something for the collective, just to think about giving it a phrase or a name, or to name your work that you're doing, your intuition work, rather than just saying it's something I do that people don't understand.
You know, it's interesting, could Patty work with leaders? Leaders. A lot of leaders I find are in the Tony Robbins, and they're doing all those things. They may not talk about it, but they're the one. I usually, when I go to like a workshop or a self-help industry, I meet people with very great careers. And that's why part of the reason is because they go to things like that. I don't know if they, like, I have some relatives that do that. I don't know if they share it, but that's why they're so successful. And I want to do the pendulum. Here, let's do the pendulum. I want to ask if the collective need more message. So my yes goes like this, and my no goes like that. And if it's clear in the air, it's going to go the other way. So let's see. Are we done with this? It's saying no. So we have to clear the energy. It's clearing the energy. So that means us and people who are watching really need to clean that energy up. See, it took very quickly. And it also could be because Patty's a Reiki healer as well. Patty, you have anything that comes to mind, especially when it comes to leaders? I have some people on my subscribers that they are like in high position. How did that work? How can they utilize their woo-woo skill? I mean, we already mentioned how, but how could they, I guess,
Embrace it.
yeah, embrace it. But like you said, you don't have to go out and about it. but embrace it, because I noticed, I didn't realize that even though I'm becoming more comfortable, I didn't realize that conversation I have about it is actually what preventing me. And I didn't realize I was not grateful. Doesn't make, you know what I mean? Like I wasn't aware I was somehow not grateful for it, like not grateful for it. So that's important. So what? Continue.
I think just taking time out, whether it's 5 minutes and just having a little quiet, can change everything and open up your intuition so that you can hear it. We're so busy and got so much going on with electronics and all of this stuff, is just going outside and sitting outside for a few minutes and just clearing your mind can open up so much more for you, taking 5 minutes a day. More preferably, but a lot of people don't even have much more than that. Or when you're in your car on your way to work or on your way to wherever you're going, turn off the radio, turn off everything, and just spend some time with yourself and listening and just clearing your mind will open up so many opportunities for you just by listening to your soul, to your intuition, and all of that. Because that's what we need when we're busy. We're not listening to what we need to be listening to. And that's where you can make not so good decisions or quickly get angry or whatever. But if you take that 5 minutes and calm yourself down, you can reflect differently on the situations.
So let's go with that. The opening. What was that? The opening of what? 'Cause I feel like that's the part we need to clear.
Opening yourself to your intuition, opening yourself to quiet.
Intuition. So let's see. Do we need to focus and clear the idea of opening up to our intuition? Yeah, it's starting to clear. So it's just awareness, because like I wasn't even aware of doing that. So it didn't take much to clear, but it's just that awareness. Now it's clearing more. Okay. Now it's good. Pretty interesting. So let's go to part 2. And part 2 is, oh, we did part 2.
Okay. I wanted to share something from Patti's 21 Days to Optimal Work-Life Balance as well. There's a chapter, I think, you can help me, Patti, on silence. Do you remember that one, silence?
Yes, taking time to meditate, to have silence, to self-reflect. Just taking that time alone is so important. We all need that, to have silence.
And I wonder, this is for the collective, like, because some of the anxiety comes up when you go into meditation or turning everything off. There's a lot of things: fear of missing out. Am I going to not get work done? And sometimes when you turn things off or try to meditate, there's a lot of noise. And instead of silence, the anxiety starts because you're hearing all of your garbage that you've picked up from the collective. And I tried the other day, or just driving with no radio, no media or anything. And I started my day with the dream work. And then as I got in the car many hours later, I was contemplating the dream and talking to my guidance about the dream as I was driving. Fortunately, I can multitask like that. But it was great to have that space of silence, no other noise, to talk to my guidance. And sometimes you might need to develop a relationship with the silence, which I think is the hardest part, because you might have habits where you're constantly surrounded by stress at work, expectations at home, or things that have to be done at home because you've got family members that need care. and getting silence can be really, really hard. So I wonder if there was something for the collective about like a better relationship with silence, or
You know what came to me? Like practical things. Water your plant.
Yeah.
For me, I could just step outside and go in the sun. Because sometimes I'm really unable to sit and meditate, literally.
yeah.
Like that. Some people like driving. I mean, if you don't get stuck in traffic. But I kept thinking, water the plant. Can you do that for 3 minutes? That's going to do something major.
And as you're watering, you're just, what are you
Well, that's
not thinking?
silent, kind of a silent thing. You know, some
Oh.
people garden. At least you're active, but at least it's more quiet.
And as you
And then
water,
some
what
people,
if the thoughts, what happens when you water? Because I know when sometimes I'm watering, I'm not really present.
literally, when I'm watering, I'm just thinking about watering. I don't have time to think about anything else. Even
Ah,
if the plants are dying, I'm watering it. And then I'm like,
right.
and before I know it, 5, 10 minutes watering plants. Or go, oh my God, I forgot to water it. It's been 10 days. So
Oh, I talk to the plants, so I'm engaging with them, but I've always been a bit talkative like that. So everybody, what else, Patti? What?
Well, just stepping outside, like Sylvia said, and getting that sun on you is really important. Or just taking a little 5-minute walk, moving your body, getting out of the office, getting out and inside can really lift your spirits. And I found that I would go for a walk, 15-minute walk at work, and I would be saying I would be saying my affirmations, or I would just have silence, just to get my body moving, just to get some sun. I mean, even on cold days, I would go out just to get fresh air and just change the energy around me. And that's really important, especially if you work in a very high do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. Let's do it. Let's get it done. Putting out fires constantly. You need to change your energies within the day.
you know, it's funny that you said that because I'm picking up one of your affirmation cards. It said, let go of my old habits, embrace new one. So it's telling me like, Sylvia, go beyond the plant. Like do another thing. Might be another thing that I haven't thought of.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
it doesn't
there's
have to be walking. There's so many things.
yeah, praying, taking
How
time to pray. I used
right.
to do that too. On my walks, I would pray about things, pray about situations, asking for a solution or help with the situation that was happening around me.
Window shopping. I mean, simple as that.
Yeah, just changing it up a little bit.
Wow, that's good. Well, I had a great time. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for
And
having
if
Thanks,
you want more
Sylvia.
information, look in the description below and please tap into them. They have great energy. Take care. Please like and subscribe.
Thank you.